There is in your world an ally that you have. And this ally that you have is something that's there to support you, to look after you, to protect you, to be on your side. But the world looks at it as an enemy. And so do you. This ally that you have, this thing that is a formidable force in nature, in this world, in humanity, it is a powerful force, it is a powerful strength, is anger. Anger is the most powerful ally any human could ever have. It reaches deep inside of you and pulls things out of you that you did not even know existed. It gives you different framework of thinking, it gives you perspective, it heightens your senses, it can also make you a little bit stupid. Anger is the most powerful thing that a human being can have emotionally. But most people don't know what anger is. And there's a reason for that, is because anger has become a stigma, a symbol of bad, a symbol of things that a person shouldn't be. Nobody looks at what the person is suffering or going through or dealing with or why they're behaving the way that they are. They only look at the end result, which comes across as anger. And this word anger, the moment that you tell somebody there's an angry person, they've already got a little box in their head of where they put that person that is angry. The moment that somebody shows a little sign of anger or disrupts in anger, it's against the niceties of civilization. That's bullshit. Anger is the big brother to fear. The only reason why anger exists is because you have fears. And the big brother, what is its job supposed to do? What is the big brother supposed to do to any little brother? Protect, look after. It is being an ally to your fears. You have got these deep-seated fears that are inside of you. They are so deep-seated from so many years of experiences and traumatic little events. Something that is nowhere near traumatic for you now, a tiny little event now. When you were 5 years old, could have been hell of a traumatic. But now every little time that you have that little memory or that little emotion coming from when you're 5 years old, it erupts into this huge big monster that you are now as an adult. Why? Because you're scared. Because you carry fear. You carry fear in everything. You fear to have relationships, you fear to have jobs, you fear to have money, you fear to be around people. Let me tell you what the big problems are. You fear to be honest. You fear to tell the truth. You fear to be yourself. You fear to be reasonable, non-judgmental. And you know what protects all those things? Anger. Have enough anger protecting you continuously, and there's a whole bunch of anxiety and depressive nature that's going to be coming out of you and oozing out of you. Anger is not an enemy. Anger is an emotion. Anger is something that if you could only understand the qualities and the benefits of it. Anger is not something you let into your heart. Anger is something you use with your heart. Your heart is like this fuel resource that has the ability to see and attach itself to the vision of your life, of your career, of your passion. And the moment that you can take this ally of anger, which must dominate and absolutely eradicate and find the courage to overcome your fears, you use that and you put that together with your heart and you go and you achieve what it is that you want to do. But the moment it's unbridled, the moment that anger can just do whatever the hell it wants, you're in shit. For two reasons. One, because the world won't like it. And two, because one day you're going to die. And you're never going to have overcome your fears. You're just going to have lived an angry life. And those stress hormones that come out of just living with anger because of fear, that's a nasty life. That's the type of life that you wish you would not move on to somebody else. It's the type of life that you don't want to wish on somebody else. So how do we do it? how do we get anger to be our ally? Well, let's tell a little story first. Let's have a look at something. Historically, anger has been a resource for many things. If you have a look at a lot of stories, a lot of mythologies, there's always these little dragons, right? Big dragons, fiery dragons, evil dragons, dragons. And most dragons, what are they all doing? What is the one thing that they're always doing? Always in a lair, always protecting prey. That's something that all dragons do. And the number one thing is facing the dragon. And where is the scale of the dragon always loose? Where is the soft spot of the dragon? It's always here. What is this? This is your heart. You can overcome the dragon and bridle that dragon, that anger. If only you would realize what the dragon is doing. It's not trying to attack you. It's not trying to attack other people. The dragon is trying to look after the treasure. It's trying to look after the gold which is stored away inside a cave. What is that cave? That's the inner recesses of you. What is the treasure? The things that you hold valuable, that you fear to lose, that you fear to happen to you. And the dragon protects that. The dragon protects the things that you value. You have a little kid, and the second that it goes out over the road and is about to be knocked down by a car, what happens inside of you? You get this rush of adrenaline, that thing that causes you to go out and absolutely not care about any of your safety and any of your own concerns of how you look, how you sound. I once saw a mother inside a mall lose her child, and she no longer gave a shit about shouting in the mall her child's name. Usually, child makes too much noise and everyone's like, hey, shh. The moment that you lose something and that fear of something of value is about to leave you, your dragon comes up. And that dragon is there to protect something that you hold value. So when you see somebody being angry, when you see somebody having some kind of a very uncomfortable moment, should you be offended by their anger, or should you be recognizing that they are right there in that moment in fear? And if they're in fear, you, a responsible, mature human, what are you going to do? Get angry back and tell them they can't speak to you like that and that they're full of shit and blah, 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 blah? Or are you going to start looking for deep answers? If this is a business environment and this person has got a damn good set of skills, something that's going to add value to your business, and they've got anger issues, why would they have anger issues? Because they've got stuff to fear. They've got stuff to lose. And Big Brother's out to look after the treasure. Why not take that energy that they have, the dragon that they have, and find a way to help them bridle it so that they can use that energy to help them in your business and for themselves? Can you imagine how relationships would change in this world if two people that care for each other would stop giving a shit about anger and start looking at what it is that anger is doing? It's protecting the fears that are there. And instead of being offended by the anger, start looking at asking the question, how can I help you with what you protect? Start asking questions. Because let me tell you something, if you care about somebody, anger is not going to get in the way. But if you love somebody and they're in fear all the time and you do nothing about it, you don't love the person. Because no natural love would want the person that they care for and cherish to live in fear. No natural love. Nothing. So if you care about your business, then you need to care about your staff and what it is that they fear. What are they going to fear? Job, career, relationships, family, money, a whole host of things. There's a whole bunch of reasons why a human being can be angry. and in your home environment, your wife, your kids, whatever. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they can be angry. So the question is no longer what is anger and what is it protecting. The question is what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about your anger? What are you going to do with other people's anger when you see it? Are you going to look at your anger and just go, I'm just a bad person, or I just can't get rid of it, or I've got to take tablets, or I've got to do this, It's like, listen, why don't you just stand up and start being a warrior and start facing and confronting what it is that anger is actually protecting? You're scared. And that's not a problem. The problem is not being scared. The problem is being scared and hiding. Because that is why the dragon comes out. Because the treasure is inside the cave, hidden in the dark. And anytime somebody comes near it, what does the dragon do? If you really, really, really want to defeat this dragon, and you really, really, really want to get it on as an ally, and you want to expose those fears, let me tell you what you got to do. You've got to be a warrior, and you've got to face this dragon. Because you're not going to get to the fear without getting through the dragon. That's definitely 100%. So what you've got to do is you've got to face the dragon with what? Heart. You've got to face it with heart, and you've got to come to terms with what the dragon is and who the dragon is, and make friends. Because when you're friends with the dragon, you can visit the dragon. And what is the dragon protecting? Where is the dragon? In the lair. Keeping the value. What is the value? The treasure. Your fears. Now, instead of looking at the fears isolated and alone, you look at it with the power of this dragon. You look at it with the power, this resource of anger being something that you can use to help you to get something, to get somewhere. What are you going to do about your anger? How are you going to see other people's anger from now on? Your relationship, any type of relationship, deserves to be able to walk through anger with it as an ally, as a strength, and face your fears.